Boycott Nintendo. This isn't clickbait. This isn't me just hating to hate. We need to start speaking with our wallets. We need to stand up against Nintendo and the anti-consumer practices and everything that they have been doing as of late in the gaming industry. Hi, I'm UmbreonMoonlight, and I'm very, very disappointed with the state of modern gaming and how all these companies just want to milk us and price gouge us and continue to take more of our hard-earned money for what? More slop? More AAA slop that means nothing when indie games are pushing out better games than anything Nintendo, Sony, and Microsoft has released in the last 3 years? As everyone might be aware by now, the Nintendo Switch 2 is a couple weeks away from releasing, and it seems like the more information that comes out about the console, the more Nintendo starts to become the Disney of gaming. Nintendo just keeps making one bad decision after another and one more anti-consumer decision after the other to line their pockets with more money and giving us less product for that money. As everyone might know, I stated a few months ago in a couple of my videos that Nintendo raising some of their AAA games to $80 was going to send a ripple throughout the gaming community and the gaming industry as a whole, and that many corporations and companies were going to follow suit the second those floodgates were opened. I, unfortunately, was right about that because now Xbox, Microsoft has raised prices on all their gaming consoles, all their accessories, up to $130 extra for some stuff. On top of the fact that they are now, along with the Big N, going to be selling $80 AAA games, which is basically AA games at this point. Tell me in the last 5 years, what modern AAA game is worth fucking $80, let alone 60, 70? What fucking video game nowadays worth $60, $70, $80, $100? I can tell you this right now, none. There hasn't been a single game released by huge studios that is worth $80. And that's just the beginning of it. Sony has also announced that they're raising PS Plus prices in certain regions of the world. Again, it's only a matter of time before Sony makes their games $80. And that, remember about GTA 6? That, mind you, is now delayed a whole nother year when we were promised it this year. It just seems more and more like GTA 6 is gonna be that, you know, big $100 like everyone's been speculating, and I'm not supporting it at this point. And on top of all this bad news coming out of it, Nintendo is at the forefront of all this fucking controversy we have seen. It has been unveiled that they updated their user license agreement that, mind you, you can't opt out of unless you mail into Nintendo of America that you do not agree to the terms of service to use this system. You have to mail it in instead of clicking a button under the I agree tab on the system itself. What is this, the 60s, the 50s? Come on now. No one's mailing fucking anything in nowadays. Not to mention the fact that you can't use your system unless you agree to the terms of service. And while Umbreon, every tech company has a EULA and the terms of service that you have to agree to, you know, use their product. What's so bad about this one? I'm gonna tell you this right now. In the new EULA, they have stated that you can no longer join in a class action lawsuit against them. So, the class action lawsuit with the Joy-Cons, something like that. You can no longer join in on that if you agree to the terms of service. You have to privately dispute it with Nintendo and a group of their peers, which means Nintendo's gonna bring in people that like Nintendo, and that's gonna be backing their side of the argument, which means they're gonna continue to sell you defective products. They're gonna continue to sell you pieces of plastic without the game on it now. They're going to continue to price gouge you. They're going to continue to make sure that you do not own anything you buy from them. You are now renting their software. They're allowing you to use the Switch too. They're allowing you to pay $80 for their crappy pixelated games that looks like it came right out of the PS3 and Wii era. Like, come on, Nintendo. And if that wasn't bad enough, they also stated in the EULA that if you're using any prohibited software, homebrewing basically, if you're caught doing that, they can brick your almost $500 fucking system through the internet, rendering your Switch 2 a giant fucking expensive paperweight. And I'm not kidding. It's all stated in the EULA that they can do it, that you have to agree to play their crappy games now. At this point, what's the point of having a console? What's the point of buying a console and not just going over to PC gaming? I'm starting to wonder that myself. And on top of all of this, if this couldn't get any worse for the gaming community and Nintendo fans like myself, as we all know, Nintendo and Pocket Pad, the creators of Palworld, have been in a lawsuit over patent infringements for months now. Well, Palworld just released a tweet the other day regarding the lawsuit and changes to the future of the game. And none of it is good. We would like to express our sincere gratitude and appreciation for the continued support of our fans over the past few months. We apologize for not being able to share much information as we would like, but we trust our fans understand how difficult it is to be fully transparent while litigations is ongoing. Which, yeah, when you're in a legal battle, especially with someone like Nintendo that has about as much money, if not more, than Disney and can just bully competition out, it's really hard to, keep a fan base, feeling secured with a product that they spent money on to, all these changes that they have to do to avoid Palworld just ceasing to exist. Currently, we remain involved in prolonged legal proceedings regarding alleged patent infringement. We continue to dispute these claims and assert that the individuals of the patent in question. However, we have to make certain compromises in order to avoid disruptions to the development and distribution of Palworld. On November 30th, 2024, we released patch 0.3.11 for Palworld. This patch removed the ability to summon pals by throwing a spear and instead changed it to a static summon next to the player. Several other game mechanics were also changed with this patch. As many others speculated, these changes were indeed as a result of the ongoing litigation. Everyone here at Pocket Pad was disappointed that this adjustment had to be made, and we fully understand that many players feel the same frustration. Unfortunately, as the alternative would have led to an even greater deterioration of gameplay experience for players, it was determined that this change was necessary. Necessary to keep the game being able to be purchased and enjoyed by millions of fans. Because Nintendo can't seem to understand that this wouldn't be a problem and Palworld wouldn't be as popular as it is if they would just make a good fucking Pokemon game or a good fucking video game in general. Furthermore, we regret to inform players that the implementation of patch 0.5.5, we must yet make another compromise. From this patch onward, gliding will be performed using a glider rather than a pail. Pails in the player's team will still provide passive buffs to the gliding, but players will now need to have the glider in their inventory in order to glide. This doesn't affect me because I always use the glider anyways, but the simple fact that they had to remove something else from the game because Nintendo's trying to patent that too, it's not okay. Nintendo's basically gutting this game. We also want to extend our apologies to our fans for the discomfort and concern on this ongoing litigation has caused. We remain committed to the developing Palworld and delivering exciting new content for our fans. On behalf of everyone at Pocket Pad and Team Palworld, thank you again for your continued support. Yeah. So apparently, in between Nintendo saying they own capturing creatures with an object, they now claim that they own the rights to fucking gliding with a monster in your team. They own the rights to, riding mounts. What the fuck don't they own at this point? Every time you breathe, are they gonna send a Nintendo tax for that? How about open worlds? You know, Nintendo made open worlds. Are they gonna go after Sony and, you know, Microsoft for making open world games? Of course fucking not, because Sony and Microsoft has money to fight back. Nintendo is only known for beating up the smaller competition that doesn't have enough money to fight them. They're not gonna go after a big corporation, let alone one that can actually make a legal defense. They are trying to literally gut fucking Palworld and gut the game so it doesn't resemble what it was a year ago. So people just stop playing it, so they go back to play these shitty fucking Pokemon games. At this point, like I stated at the beginning of the video, boycott Nintendo. I am 110% done with this company. They have become so anti-consumer. They bully fucking creativity. They stifle creativity with lawyers because they would rather continue to sell us the same fucking slop they've been selling since the Wii era instead of innovating, making their games better. No, they just rely on the Nintendo shows and the bootlickers and they die-hard fucking fans that living in their mother's fucking basement, snorting Cheeto dust, smelling a musk because they don't know what a fucking shower is. They rely on them to continue to keep profits raking it. And they'll just continue to take it from behind from Nintendo. They'll continue to allow Nintendo to screw them out of money because, well, Nintendo is great. Nintendo was my childhood. No one fucking cares at this point. And yes, I am a very, very heated when it comes to stuff like this because I grew up with Nintendo. I grew up with the N64. I grew up with the GameCube. I grew up with the Wii U, the 3DS. I've slowly seen this company lose the soul, the passion, what they used to be to become Disney. They basically became fucking Disney. And now other companies are following suit because, well, Nintendo did it first, guys, so we gotta do it now. As it stands now, I don't even know if I enjoy video games anymore. From like AAA games, Sony games, Microsoft games, Nintendo games. Me being a Nintendo and Sony fanboy. I don't even know if I can state that I'm either anymore. I just, at this point, I just don't know. I don't know where I stand with the AAA gaming community and the companies behind it. I can 100% state that I am going completely like PC gaming at this point because I don't see a point in continuing to support these companies. I don't. Everyone, if you can afford it, I would suggest building a PC, getting a gaming PC. Try out some indie games. Indie games are the future, man. They are the fucking future of gaming. They have so much innovation. I can look on the Steam page and see thousands of independent developers making games that are so much better than the $2 million spent on what, Spider-Man 2 that was How about Pokemon Scarlet and Violet that was a buggy, broken fucking mess and still is to this day? How about all the games being released half done? You have to buy more of the game back day one fucking patches, stuff not on the game discs and cartridges anymore. Meanwhile, you got this independent guy or this small team of independent people making bangers like Hollow Knight, like Cat Quest, Kena Bridge Spirits. You have Cold Keeper. You have Celeste. You have all these fucking indie games made by one person, a handful of people that just blow it out of the water time and time and time again. At this point, I don't know, guys. I don't know where I stand, but I do know where I stand with Nintendo. Boycott it. I'm done with Nintendo. I'm not buying their products anymore. I'm not buying a Switch 2. Not even used. I'm not even going to give Nintendo the satisfaction knowing that I bought this system used, their games used. It's a boycott for me. 100% a boycott. No merchandise, no games, no services, nothing. I'm done with all of it until they show me something worth my money and worth my time to play. And everyone in the gaming community should follow suit. I've been UmbreonMoonlight. And again, gamers, vote with your wallets. Show these companies that without us, they don't exist. I hope you all have a great day.